Set up. Hello, good morning, I'm Spike, and welcome to another self-taught Japanese in Rosetta Stone 3. So here we are back again, documenting my progress as I learn this brilliant language. Today we are going to be going over the speaking modules after I completed the listening and reading modules yesterday, which were a little bit easier than I was expecting. Today's hopefully going to be starting really well because I managed to open up the program without any issues whatsoever, which is always good, always nice, good way to start the day. So without further ado, let's get the like, follow, shares and subscribes out the way. You can like, follow, share and subscribe on twitch.tv/crunk7up, or you can like, follow, share and subscribe on youtube.com/xofficina. Both places link to each other, so if you go to one, you can get to the other. If you find one on one platform, you'll be able to link yourself over to the other. And for those who might want a bit more personal touch, the Discord is always available. Just add to the Discord, so you can chat to me in there. DM, send any constructive criticism, feedback, advice, tips, etc. And we're all welcome there, as are getting in the comments below. So here we are doing the speaking module, as I've said. And I suppose we should make sure we've got our materials ready. As always, I have the classic number and tense sheet here, and I have the alphabetized kanji hiragana alphabet. There we go. Thus far, from what I've managed to learn, got quite a few things in there. So without further ado, let's go to setting this up. I'll get my notes in my lap. Let's count in Japanese. Ichi, ni, san, yon, go. Goodo, that's got us lovely, nice and set up. Now I fully expect that this one's going to dump me straight into the module straight away. So there's a high chance that I'm going to start getting things wrong immediately. Let's see what we get.
Seta.
Seta. It's picking up today. That's good news.
Necktie.
Necktie.
Necktie. Suits.
Suits. Good pronunciation today.
靴下。
靴下。
靴下。ベルト。
ベルト。
ベルト。ジーンズ。
ジーンズ。
ジーンズ。
Not bad. I'm quite impressed that the opening slide was quite easy. So there we go. A sweater, jumper, necktie, obviously, a suit, of course, socks, kutsushita, belt for Baruto, and jeans for jinzu. Nice start to this double slide. Let's go to slide 2. So what we've got here.
灰色。
灰色。
灰色。紫。
紫。
紫。ピンク。
ピンク。
ピンク。茶色。
茶色。
茶色。オレンジ。
オレンジ。
オレンジ。青。
青。
青。黄色。
黄色。
黄色。緑。
緑。
緑。
Fantastic. We're smashing out the pronunciation today. No mistakes thus far. And we've got full mark circles going fully green across the board so far. That I'm impressed by. I thought I'd, at least in the first 2 slides, get something wrong there. But there we go. We've got grey, purple, pink, brown across the top row, orange, blue, yellow, and green, of course, along the bottom. So yeah, I'm quite happy with those. Now you can see if you watched yesterday's video, number 56, you'll see. I think it's number 56. You'll see that again the material repeats a little bit for each exercise. So we already encountered this slide page yesterday, but obviously it was asking for us to answer in a slightly different way. Let's go to slide 3.
彼女の靴下は灰色です。彼の靴下は紫です。 彼女のセーターは紫です。
彼のセーター。No, it was セーター。
彼のセーターは灰色です。
Oh my god, I stopped myself halfway through that. I can't accept that. I need to redo that. I mean, it classes it as correct, but I stopped after that. I don't know why I wanted to change my mind from seita to kutsushita. Let's try it again.
彼女の靴下は灰色です。
Yep.
彼の靴下は紫です。彼女のセーターは紫です。
彼のセーターは灰色です。
彼のセーターは灰色です。
That's a bit more acceptable, I think, as a way to answer. I can't believe I said the first 3 letters of the sentence and then it auto-completed for me. Which, again, not acceptable for me. I don't need to actually get that. 彼のセーターは灰色です。That's a bit more complete. Slide 4.
私の帽子は青いです。
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 私のネクタイはオレンジです。
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 There we go.
私のベルトは茶色です。
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 私のセーターは紫です。
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 Cool beans. A little bit unhappy about it not picking up watashi on that third one, but I mean, we can live with that. We can live with that. It was just the one word here, and I did say it. At least I'm not just saying half a sentence, and it auto-completes for me, so that's good news. Let's go to slide 5.
私は背が高いです。
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 私の髪は茶色です。
私の髪は茶色です。
私の髪は茶色です。私は背が低いです。
私は背が低いです。
私は背が低いです。私の髪は赤毛です。
私の髪は赤毛です。
私の髪は赤毛です。
That's one thing I will notice on these particular sentences with the speaking, and I noticed this in a couple of previous modules, in dropping half a semitone in the old throat for pronunciation of the Japanese language, particularly for me, I find it a little easier to speak fluently, or more fluidly, I should say, through some of these phrases. Just because the looser vocal cords seem to allow me a bit more space in the breathing of each word and between each syllables, that then allows the tongue to move properly, be able to say these phrases with a little bit more subtlety and a little bit more clarity, and with a slightly better tonality as well to the Japanese language, which I think works a little bit better in being able to speak these a little clearer. And I think if I spoke them in front of someone who was Japanese, they probably wouldn't have as much westernized English accent coming through in the Japanese that's being spoken. So just food for thought. It's not a huge drop. This is my normal speaking voice, but I think when I bring it down here a little bit to watashi no kami wa akage desu, it's a little bit easier than watashi no kami wa akage desu. There's a bit more strain. I can feel it along the jawline here, along the glands here, along this section just above my Adam's apple in my throat, with the stressing of Western English accent, but trying to speak Japanese language. Something I noticed in school with French as well. I suppose it's kind of like a role play element too, where it's kind of, I don't want to say it's cheesing or cheating it, but you can help yourself sometimes if you get into the mindset and role play a little bit by pretending that you're that you're trying to be that native, I guess. And for some reason, it tricks the body into thinking that you are then therefore a little bit more competent than you are, I suppose. Which trying to role play anything, you're trying to pretend it's acting. You're trying to pretend to be something and someone, or do something, or be something, or behave in a specific way that allows the ease and facilitation of whatever action you're undertaking. And I think in doing a language, learning a language, speaking a language, whatever, especially when you're testing yourself in this manner, which is what this speaking module is for, I think it pays to just drop the voice down a little bit, half a tone, half a semitone, do a full semitone, maybe even a full tone, depends where your natural voice sits, just to give yourself a little bit of flex in your vocal cords. Which in turn gives you flex in your tongue and all of the muscles that are down this section of your neck and jawline. It just frees up a bit of movement and a bit of the air pushing and pulling that happens in the throat to make sound and noise. At least that's in my experience. It may not work for you. It might be something you can't do or aren't skilled in, versed in. I would suggest it's worth practicing, but if it's not for you, then don't do it. But personally, for me, I find that it seems to work a little easier.
お腹が空いています。
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 喉が渇いています。
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 暑いです。
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 寒いです。
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 私は具合が悪いです。
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 私は疲れています。
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 疲れています。Mark that last word up there. 疲れて and は具合が悪いです。That's quite a mouthful to say. So I definitely messed up a little bit on the last two. It still marked me down as pronouncing them correctly. It picked up on wawuri des. That's so hard for me to say. And the sugarete. That's quite hard. Sugarete. Definitely two things that don't come natural to me anyway, for the shape and the sound it's being produced. But I am going to move on to slide 7 because didn't mark me down incorrect on any of those.
寒いですか？
はい、寒いです。
喉が渇いていますか？
いいえ、喉が渇いていません。
暑いですか？
暑いですか？
いいえ、暑くありません。お腹が空いていますか？
はい。I don't know the rest.
はい、お腹が空いています。
Okay. My mind went blank on that one. No, let's go again. At least I got the first one right. Atsui desu ka? I knew they were asking a question. Hi, onaka ga suite imasu. Okay.
寒いですか？
はい、寒いです。
喉が渇いていますか？
いいえ、喉が渇いていません。
Oh dear. Atsui desu ka? Atsui desu ka?
暑いですか？
I've just said it. You fucking what? Ah! Joker.
寒いですか？
はい、寒いです。
喉が渇いていますか？
いいえ、喉が渇いていません。
暑いですか？
暑いですか？
いいえ、暑くありません。お腹が空いていますか？
はい、お腹が空いています。
はい、お腹が空いています。
That's not happy with that either, but I'll take it. Can't believe it didn't register at 3 desu ka the second time that I repeated it. I think maybe because I was repeating this top right one, Ie no do ga kawaite imasen. I was tripping up on the kawaite imasen bit, which clearly bled into the at 3 desu ka and didn't register that correct. But it is what it is. So we got, are you cold? Yes, I'm cold. Are you thirsty? No, we're not thirsty. Are you hot? No, I'm not hot. And are you hungry? Yes, we're hungry. Let's go slide 8.
こんにちは。
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 お元気ですか？
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 元気です。
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 And a nice easy slide there. Hello, how are you? I'm good. Alright, fine, thanks. It's not too bad. Nice, short and easy.
こんにちは。
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 お元気ですか？
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 Yep.
元気です。
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 Two slides of exactly the same. Don't know why.
サラさん、こんにちは。お元気ですか？
元気です。ジョーンズさん、お元気ですか？
元気です。
元気です。
Okay, so the last 3 slides, I'm going to say, are a little bit on the easy side. So, my Sarah, hello, how are you? I'm fine. Jones, how are you? Fine. The last 3 slides, very, very simple. But still, I suppose it's teaching the
お
speaking.
ばあちゃん、こんにちは。エイミー、こんにちは。元気ですか？元気です。
元気ですか? No? おばあちゃん、元気です。
おばあちゃんは？
おばあちゃんは。おばあちゃんは? Don't tell me I'm getting it wrong. Now that you've just told me the
おば
answer.
あちゃん、こんにちは。エイミー、こんにちは。
元
元気ですか？元気です。
おばあちゃんは？おばあちゃんは？
おばあちゃんは？元気です。
See what I mean? The way that this thing decides it wants to pick things up, it decides it doesn't want to pick things up even when you say them
おば
correctly.
あちゃん、こんにちは。エイミー、こんにちは。元気ですか？元気です。
おばあちゃんは？
おばあちゃんは？元気です。
There we go. Now I'm happier with that. There's 100%. 39. Correct. None incorrect, because it's the only way I like to move and move on. Little bit annoyed about this one. Gave me the answer, repeated it, and it still didn't like it. Like, it must be something to do with if you're speaking and the microphone picks up as it starts the slide. And it even before it's then trying to register your input, it's still classing the inputs as going on, so it marks you down. Okay, fine. This isn't test conditions though. So let's move on to back to the home screen. There we go. We've got that one last module to do, and that's the speaking repeat, which is from this section here. So it will be a little bit easier. Here, let's see how easy it is.
どこに住んでいますか？
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 私はアパートの215に住んでいます。
私はアパートにの215に住んでいます。Just fucked that up. Oh, now I'm annoyed. Now I'm annoyed. It didn't check out imaska on the first slide, even though I clearly said imaska.
どこに住んでいますか？
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 私はアパートの215に住んでいます。
私はアパートの215に住んでいます。Picks up all that one
私
fine. Why
は
didn't it pick
ア
up
パ
Imaska
ー
on
ト
the
の
first one?
215に住
Better
ん
pick it
で
up on
い
the
ま
second
す。
one.
どこに住んでいますか？
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 私はモスクワに住んでいます。
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 So, very annoyed that it didn't pick up Imaska on the first slide, but it picks it up perfectly fine on the second slide. Rosetta Stone, you need your coding sorting out. This is a little unfair when and that's more what annoys me. I know it's a learning experience and it's my OCD and my bipolar shining through at the same time. How when you are repeating something, does it not recognize the last word, but every other word in every other sentence, including the repetition on number 3 with the same damn phrase on it? Does it not pick up that first one? I repeated it as is. I've said it as is. I pitched it correctly. It's the same as the second one, and it picks up the second one, not the first. That's infuriating, I do have to say. Well, that's this video's entertainment, I suppose. Watching me get frustrated and try to laugh it off. But it is annoying when you're being told you're getting something incorrect and you are actually getting it correct. Number 2. Let's go
ど
to
こ
number
に
2.
住んでいますか？
私たちはローマに住んでいます。
どこに住んでいますか？
どこに住んでいますか？
Picking up the word
私
now,
た
aren't
ち
you?
はモスクワに住んでいます。
So, where are you from? Yeah, どこに住んでいますか? Or where are you at the moment? And we're in Rome. And they're in or from Moscow. Let's go slide 3 before I get too annoyed.
彼らはフランスの出身です。
彼らは No, because I shortened that thinking I was not saying
彼
the
らは
plural.
フラ
An
ンス
idiot.
の出身です。
彼らはフランスの出身です。
彼らは
Yeah.
フランスの出身です。彼はフランスの出身です。
彼はフランスの出身です。
彼はフランスの出身
We're
で
on a
す。
roll now, come on.
彼女はフランスの出身です。
彼女はフランスの出身です。Hey!
彼女はフランスの出身で
There
す。
we go.
彼らはアメリカの出身です。
彼らはアメリカの出身です。
彼らはアメリカの出身です。彼はアメリカの出身です。
彼らは You son of a bitch! Oh, now I've got to do it all again just to get to that one point. Fuck's sake.
彼らはフランスの出身です。
彼らはフランスの出身です。
彼らはフランスの出身です。彼はフランスの出身です。
彼はフランスの出身です。
彼はフランスの出
Nearly tripped
身
over
です。
myself on that one.
彼女はフランスの出身です。
彼女はフランスの出身です。
彼女はフランスの出身です。彼らはアメリカの出身です。
彼らはアメリカの出身です。
彼らはアメリカの出身です。彼はアメリカの出身です。
彼はアメリカの出身です。
彼はアメリカの出身です。彼女はアメリカの出身です。
彼女はアメリカの出身です。
彼女は アメリカの出身です。
Fantastic. Let's move on because that was really annoying that I had to do all 6.
私たちは日本の出身です。私は日本の出身です。
彼は日本の出身です。
日本は出身ですか?
日本の出身ですか?
Nice. Close enough because they're asking the question, and I knew that I could remember it as pretty plain from the previous videos and slides. 日本の not 日本は日本の出身です. I'll take that. One piece away. 日本の出身ですか? Yeah, we'll take that. Slide 5. Let's go.
どこの出身ですか?
私はアメリカの出身です。
どこの出身ですか?
どこの出身ですか?
私はエジプトの出身です。
Fantastic. She's from America. Look at their passport. He's from Egypt. Not that you would know.
私の家は通りの近くにあります。
僕の家は通りから遠くにあります。
椅子はドアの近くにあります。
椅子はドアから遠くにあります。
椅子は
Yes,
ド
first
アから
time.
遠くにあります。
First time sentencing. Oh my god, that's made me so happy. So happy that I got that. Building a sentence from the previous 3 and getting it spot on first time without a mistake. Oh, that feels good. Means it is sticking. The Japanese is sticking, and I'm making minimal mistakes in what is formulating in my head. That's not too bad. That's good news. That means it is working. The casual learning of this language through this program is really starting to stick and keep with me. And it's only because I don't have someone to riff with who is a native Japanese speaker to correct things on the fly or have conversations with backwards and forwards between English and Japanese to solidify this information. I have just myself, just this program, and a couple of the podcasts where I'm picking up what's being spoken in Japanese by native Japanese speakers at beginner level like this, but there's no output to be able to speak to someone like you would have in a classroom at school where, you know, you've got 20 or 30 of you all learning French or German or Greek or Latin or whatever. You get to riff ideas off each other, the language off each other, learn at the same pace, find things out from each other. I don't have any of that at the moment. And that's kind of what I'm after, which is why I'm asking everyone to like, follow, share and subscribe and get in the comments or add me on Discord, where if you're learning Japanese yourself, speaking Japanese yourself, or a native or something along those lines, or you're using this to get in touch so that we can build a community to just talk to each other, to actually practice the language, because it's the practicing the language. It's the same with writing it down. The only way you can write down like kanji and stuff like I have at the top here, or again, it's practicing things like this to get better at writing the kanji, right? Unless you do it over and over again, you don't get that great at it with consistency, with accuracy, with haste. And I think that's what I'm at the moment after doing 50 odd videos of this, nearly 60 odd videos of this. It's the one element I find in my learning that I'm now starting to crave and require, because I don't have it at the moment. So it's just something, again, as you, the viewer or listener, might want to consider. If you're learning a language, you'll get to a certain point where you'll have the confidence enough to want to speak it more often. But if you haven't got that other person to riff off of, or a program that can speak it back to you with accuracy, where it's not just a translate program or Google Translate or whatever, you need to have some of that dialogue backwards and forwards to confidently speak it. And this is where I think I'm falling down in this method. So it is something just to be considerate of. Let's go to slide 7.
私のお母さんです。 名前はアン・スミスです。
私のお母さんです。名前はアン・スミスです。I'm laughing because her name is
私
Han
のお母
Summers.
さんです。名前はアン・スミスです。私のお父さんです。名前はマイク・スミスです。
私のお父さんです。名前はマイク・スミスです。
私のお父さん
マイク・
です。
サマーズ。
名前はマイク・スミスです。私のお兄さんです。名前はジョン・スミスです。
私のお兄さんです。名前はジョン・スミスです。
私のお兄さんです。名前はジョン・スミスです。私の名前はサラ・スミスです。
私の名前はサラ・スミスです。
私の名前はサラ・スミスです。
Sorry. I shouldn't be laughing because it is just today, but it's just for it to pop up. And Sumitsu! Know that in Japanese that's Ann Summers. Oh dear. They put Ann Summers in a language program. I shouldn't be laughing, it's just a classic name. And yeah, that's funny. Ann Summers. Cool. Let's go to slide 8.
こんにちは。お名前は？
こんにちは。お名前は？ What the fuck? No. I said what you wanted me to
こんに
say.
ちは。お名前は？
こんにちは。お名前は？
こんにちは。お
Still
名前
missed a
は？
word.
サラです。
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 どうぞよろしく。
どうぞよろしく。どうぞよろしく。
どうぞよろしく。こんにちは。お名前は？
こんにちは。お名前は？
こんにちは。お名前は？
ジョーンズです。
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 どうぞよろしく。
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 Oh, for a second there, I thought someone was having an argument right, next door.
お名前は？
マイク・スミスです。
どうぞよろしく。
お名前は？お名前は？ Why is it
お
not
名
picking up
前
at
は
what?
ジョーンズで
That's
す。
annoying. どうぞよろしく。
どうぞよろしく。
I'll take it because I'm not going to have this program mark me down for things that I'm actually saying. And again, the where is it? In the preferences, as you can see, I have a 3/4 precision level on the speech. Now it used to be down here when I first started. I think it was the first 3 or 4 days, and I moved it up to the difficulty level up to here, where the pitch accent stuff starts to come in, but it's not quite needing to be bang on. But it's clearly still marking me down for words, even though I'm saying them, it's not picking up. Now, with wa can also mean ha in Japanese, both in spelling and in pronunciation, but they use the same singular kanji in their hiragana alphabet. And it makes me wonder if perhaps the program isn't quite picking up the fact that it's supposed to be wa and not ha on these, the same as how the previous day or so we've encountered across the videos. Hakuhatsu is spoken, but shiraga, the white, has been put in the program. So you're getting one word in westernized English in this translation, but you're actually being spoken to and expected to know the second word that until after it's introduced is then in some of this slide material, in some of these pictorials. The problem with that is that it doesn't happen frequently enough for where Hakuhatsu is mentioned, and they're still writing shiraga. So I'm wondering if this is something similar, where onamae wa, I'm saying that onamae wa, and it's not picking up the wa because it's expecting ha, and that's not the case in the spoken stuff. So I'm going to take it as it is.
さようなら、
Sayonara.
さようなら、
さようなら、
Sayonara. There we go.
さような
Spoken Japanese.
ら、
Brilliant. We'll take that. What slide 11 could I give us?
こんにちは、
こん
Konnichiwa.
にちは。お名前は？
ボビー・ジョーンズです。
どうぞよろしく。
Sayonara.
さようなら、
Not quite sure why it's asked us to say goodbye 3 times, but there it is. So yeah, just a couple of points in that video or in these slides to consider. As mentioned, again, there's 2 slides that I'm moving on from because of how they're picking up things, and there's 1 slide that I'm not happy that it wasn't picking up what I was saying. That it seems to just not be picking that up on that first instance, so I'll just move on from it. Yes, it's still marked me as 100%. I'm not too happy about those 2 or 3 slides, but I know that I was saying what I was meant to be saying in the way I was meant to be saying them, and the program's not picking them up. Now, it's not me excusing that I might have been getting it wrong, but I'm sure on playback, and those who have listened and watched this at the same time, what's coming out of my mouth is matching what's being said in the program, and it's still deciding to mark me down as wrong. There's only 2 or 3 instances across this entire video series where that's occurred, marked me down, and I've not repeated, I've moved straight on. So it's very rare instances, but there's only there will be a couple, I'm sure, in the future where the same thing will happen, and I'll move on. Because again, I'm not here to get frustrated at learning this language just because the program might have some inconsistencies in it, or a couple of bugs, or as noticed in the past couple of videos where it's chucking out words in audio that it's expecting you to know as a new word to use, but then the slides doesn't match with what's actually written down and what's been programmed in the text. So again, it's not a perfect program, but it's damn near close. And again, remember, this is from the 2008-2010 era for this version of program, so it is definitely old hat by now. So I'm going to put it down to being a program pitfall and a programming pitfall on just those 2 instances. Again, I still didn't move on until I felt comfortable that I'd got it correct, and had it correct enough for the program to mark me up for it to move on. But I'm still not happy with the way that the program handled those 2 or 3 particular instances. So just be aware that in encountering this practical section, if you are using this material, if you've got the program at home, you might encounter these issues if you haven't already. And if not, it's something to be mindful of in your own, practice regime, or your practical assessments of oneself when learning this language, to avoid some of these pitfalls that I am encountering. And again, I'm not saying that I'm perfect at all. I'm not saying the program's perfect at all. But what I'm saying is that I know that I'm repeating what's coming through these cans, and the program is occasionally not picking it up. Now, that might be because I'm not putting enough space in between certain words, or it might be because I'm speaking it too fast, or it could be because the pickup isn't that fantastic. Again, not making excuses, just giving options and suggestions as to the way that might be, but I am pretty damn sure that there are some instances on video playback whereby this has been noted, that as a viewer you're probably going, but he said the same thing as what's come out of here, why is it marked him down? That's what I'm getting at. There are only a couple of instances that's occurred. I've picked up on it and mentioned it at the same time, just to highlight it that, yeah, I'm not happy with how that's gone down. It's few and far between. But anyway, I digress. That's our modules done for today. That's the 2 speaking ones that I wanted to get through. Again, only a couple of mistakes, and there were only a couple of mistakes because I was being an ass with how the program's going, shifting from one slide to the other for me to like get out the answer, and it clearly picked up either the previous answer or was picking up something that like the drag of I've not given enough space between the words, whatever it is. It forced me into a mistake rather than me actually making a mistake, as opposed to the 2 mistakes I actually made where I was laughing around a sentence and so on and so forth, or I actually did an incomplete sentence. That was one of them, wasn't it? I didn't actually complete a sentence and it completed it for me. I wasn't happy with that. So again, it's having that self-discipline and control to go, yeah, I wasn't quite happy with my performance there. I'm going to rinse and repeat it. Which, as you've seen throughout this video series, that's what I do. Because I think it's conducive to the learning process. You have to make a mistake, yeah, sure. But it's making a fair mistake as opposed to being told that you're wrong when clearly you weren't. There's a big difference. And you could argue that, oh, you shouldn't be the adjudicator of that. It's like, well, I can be because I know when I've got something wrong. And I know the difference between getting something wrong versus a program that's marking me down for something I haven't even done yet. Or I've done the thing and it's still marking me down for it, regardless of the repeats. We had this on the individual hiragana kanjis on pronunciation a few episodes ago, and in previous modules, and in the previous unit, where a couple of times it didn't matter what I did to pronounce it correctly as I was hearing it, it was still marking me down until I spoke it in Western English and gave it a proper English. You know, imagine if I said dozo yoroshiku, but I said it as dozo yoroshiku. That was the difference in how the program was picking up that one particular hiragana kanji in pronunciation, which I thought was bang off the mark. And I think potentially the same thing's happening here. There's a little mismatch in how the program picks up certain words in certain points. It may even be because of this headset, because this headset is getting pretty old. But anyway, just some mindful things to think of from this particular video. I hope you've enjoyed the content for today. It feels like it's been a little bit shorter and not as interactive because we're being spoken to a lot of things and just expecting to speak back the occasional answer rather than like the whole slide. So it does feel like there's been less work that's happened today. However, I'm still happy with the performance. We've managed to complete both those modules. It leaves the review for tomorrow and the milestone for tomorrow before we get into the 3rd unit. So we'll be starting the 3rd unit from next week onwards, but we're finishing this one tomorrow. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't have any program issues. We'll see about that. See if we can get that off the ground for tomorrow. As always, like, follow, share, and subscribe at twitch.tv/crunk7up and youtube.com/xofficina to get these videos in the playlist. YouTube, it lives there permanently. Twitch, it only lasts for 7 days. So please like, follow, share, and subscribe. Share it around to whoever you think might want to learn Japanese. Anyone who's interested in anime. Or the like, anything adjacent to Japan, I'd highly recommend pushing this across over to them to see if they might enjoy it. Just see if they find it interesting or useful, or if you're interested in learning another language in a casual format, casual manner, and you may not have the budget or the wherewithal to go find these programs and or find a teacher or anything like that, then I'm hoping that this content can help. It's giving you some of the resources for free, and obviously some of my commentary as I learn and as I go with what I know about the Japanese language, things that I'm researching either directly in the video on my phone or what I know from learning through this program itself. I hope that it's an easy to grasp format and an easy to get into piece of information where you can get to where you want to be, learn along with me at a casual pace, and then do what I do, pause the video, rinse and repeat, go backwards and forwards until you get it correct, and then move on. And then there's also space and places where you can pause and write down any particular kanji and so on and so forth, or tenses of the language. So you've got your own notes outside of the program and outside these videos, so you don't always need to watch, to help facilitate your own learning, if you want to learn Japanese. If not, and you're just here for the thrill and it's just background noise or whatever, thank you very much for your support, much appreciated. And yeah, I think that's going to be it from me for today, for today's video. So just a quick recap, we've just gone over the speaking modules for this particular video, and then tomorrow I'm going to be doing the review and the milestone, and that'll be the end of this unit, Unit 2, Greetings and Introductions. So with that all being said, that's all from me. As always, take care, stay safe, keep sane, and I'll see you in the next one tomorrow, hopefully, without technical difficulties. Peace.